What does this let us do? Expose. So we can set a different port for it if we want to. Like, okay, hold on. Let's go back here. I can close that one so this isn't aliased. Okay, host expose that and use a WebSocket. This isn't giving me any errors. Maybe we do this. Maybe I'm being dumb and we do this. Still didn't give any errors. What am I doing wrong? Class WebSocket. Wait a second. Man. I'm gonna feel really dumb if this is the problem. Come on, close that out. Okay, so this should still be off. No. Totally failed. Okay, I'll go back to functions now. I'll go back there now. Maybe now that I know that I need to implement this, finding out how to use that will be a bit easier. Is everything still okay on the stream? Folks are very quiet. Okay, WebSocket, app and options. What are we looking for in options? Yeah, Asunfel, there is no effing manual. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll try just this for now. I'll try this and then I'll try your suggestion of having the explicit WebSocket endpoint. Yeah, okay. So that, oh wait. Nope, okay. Explicit endpoint. Right, so let's take this off and let's take this off and I'll just return from an endpoint here. Maybe something like that. No, this should be starting up again at this root route. This root route. Okay, hello world's there. Oh, I also forgot to do this WebSocket. Nope, that didn't work. That didn't work. This is horrible fumbling about. Okay. Functions WebSocket, new class, implements bootable. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Let me try that. WebSocket to that. We can delete this. We can delete this nonsense here. I swear, when this works, I'm going to be so happy. And this has to go to the WS endpoint. No, totally doesn't work. That's so bizarre. I don't want this root stuff. I just want the router on there. Okay. So expose, make a new host at this port and expose the router. And the router has a root endpoint. Sad face. I know, dude. I know, this is totally getting me down. Also, why is this highlighting off? That's pretty weird. Let's have a look at this router class. I mean, you've set this up though, Metanat. You've done this kind of thing before, right? With Aerys. Yes? I thought you had anyway. What am I doing wrong, buddy? This isn't upgrading the request. Okay. Let's look for using Aerys. I guess I'm just going to go and look for... if anyone's written about this thing yet. Let's copy from their examples. Don't want to struggle about this anymore. Aerys. A-E-R-Y-S. I think I saw a blog post about this before. I did too. This is one of the devs of it. One of the devs of AMPHP, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the normal HTTP stuff seems to work fine. Pretty easily. Okay, so they've done what you've suggested, which is just an explicit endpoint returning a WebSocket. But then, I mean, after that it doesn't do anything. Maybe we need to do this name. I'll use that name thing. Anything else there? Not really. I like the way that they've got route and then the request method there as well. I mean, it feels kind of a little bit neater to me than using get and post in these. Anyway, let me restart the server and let me change my URL to localhost. Okay, so that still works. And if I do this and just change this as well to localhost. No, it doesn't upgrade the request still. I don't know if they're using like a slightly different version or something. I mean, let me go back to this article and see. That's not what I want. This is what I want. So using dev master, actually. Let me see if that's not maybe a thing. Compose update. I wonder if it's not just like a slightly different version that's stopping this thing from bootstrapping. Because your approach is good, but it should have also worked when I used use, because that takes in a bootable as an argument. So at that point it should have worked as well. I wonder if it's not just a slight version difference that is stopping this from, preventing this from working. Or if maybe I need to use, maybe it's a firewall thing and I need to use a port way out of range. Like 8005. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a firewall thing. Gosh, I hope it's not just a firewall thing. So much for a shorter, more productive stream, hey? Here it is. $8,005, was this the port that I did? Yes. Supposed to be. What's that junk? Ah. Why does that freak out? Undefined function WebSocket. Really? It's right there. That's pretty weird. I'm also going to rename this just to make doubly sure that it is actually executing this correct thing. So I'll just call this Aerys like in the tutorial. Oh, right. Of course. Thank you. Still doesn't seem to be happy though. Class WebSocket not found. Okay, I'll call this CMS and I'll say new CMS. And I will use WebSocket. Damn you! Class CMS. That's pretty weird. I mean, is it like order dependent? Yes, that means none of the other code was running. So, apparently now, still connection refused. Oh, that's because it's a completely different port. 8005 WebSocket. Yes! Success, finally! Okay, so what I've learned is that none of the other code was being executed. It wasn't loading the correct config file in root. It was loading it from within vendor. Must have been. Also, this example really should show some WebSocket code, because this is not just that easily guessable, that you have to implement the interface. That makes sense because you have to do that with things like Ratchet, but that you have to pass this in or supply it as used, that's not quickly guessable. So I think maybe we can send pull requests for some docs changes. But this gives us a way to connect to the WebSocket. So, okay, what was printed in console? Nothing. We had a successful handshake, that's interesting. Socket send hello. Closing or closed set, sure. Sure. So this doesn't actually work yet. Oh, something like this. Is the event connection or load? Gee, I haven't done WebSocket stuff in so long. I used to do WebSocket connections with Ratchet in talks, but then I stopped doing talks about Ratchet, and so I ended up not doing anything interesting with it. Okay, events open. Okay, so the event is open, not connection. I don't even know if this is going to fire or not. I'll do something like message, surprise, surprise, and then socket send. But yeah, closed state. It's also not getting connections for this thing, right? I mean, it's supposed to on open. Maybe I'll just change